Hey, it's Clay Trader at claytrader.com. In this quick tip video, I want to address a problem that is very prevalent out there, and that is honoring a stop loss. Now, a lot of people put a stop loss into their plan. However, when it comes time to actually honor it, things get a little fuzzy, and I've heard it time and time again. You know, I'm down a lot of money. I had a stop loss. I just didn't honor it. And that's what, kind of got my mind churning. How can I make people want to honor their stop loss? And then it kind of dawned on me, well, the whole term of stop loss, that's kind of a scam in and of itself, because trading is all psychological, it's all mental. And I started to think, how can I get, people to want to honor it? And it kind of finally just dawned on me, well, stop loss, that's just too negative. It's got a negative connotation. And if you click right here, you can watch the video that I did on the psychology of a losing trade. And to kind of summarize that, but I'd still encourage you to watch it. People don't like to be wrong. That's probably, nothing new to you. You don't like to be wrong. I don't like to be wrong. But when you have a stop loss, what are you stopping? A loss. What does a loss imply? That you were wrong. So I thought, we got to redefine the term. So that's what I want to do. And then I'm going to explain, this new term. It means the same thing. However, it's going to hopefully kind of Jedi mind trick yourself into actually wanting to honor your stop loss. So from here on out, we're not talking about stop losses anymore. We're going to talk about a start, save. So no more stop losses. It's all about start saving. Start, save, any sort of that derivative. What do I mean by that? Well, let's think about one of my favorite quotes out there by Benjamin Franklin. A penny saved is a penny earned. So I want you to really stop and think about this. A penny saved is a penny earned. So now let's start to apply this to an actual trading scenario, and hopefully you can maybe already see where I'm going to go with this, but if not, bear with me. So let's just set up a trade and say that you have an entry point here. So that's your entry. And at your entry, your portfolio, and let's just say, this is just to keep the numbers simple, is at $1,000. Okay. You then say, you know what, I need a stop loss in place because I'm disciplined. So you put your stop loss here. The value doesn't matter, but let's say at the point you would take a stop loss, your portfolio after that would then be worth $900. However, what happens a lot is price creeps down here, and then, it's at my stop. Loss. Oh, I'm wrong. Loss. It'll come back up. It'll stop loss. No. And then all of a sudden, price keeps on dropping. A lot of times, it'll come back up. And to be fair, yeah, a lot of times it does come back up, but it only takes that one time for it not to come back up, and you're going to see what happens. So it keeps going, and then you finally think, you know what, I got to just get out. So you sell. Your plan was up here, however, you sold down here. However, at this point, your portfolio is now, let's just say, $500. So, what's the big difference here? Well, in this case, you lost what? $100. Okay, $100. However, if you didn't honor it, how much did you lose down here? You lost $500. And not to insult anybody's intelligence, but the difference between these two is what? $400. So by not honoring your stop loss, you lost an additional $400. However, let's look at it from what I want, a start save. So if at this point you said, you know what? Because I understand a penny saved is a penny earned, I'm going to start saving and just get out. And how much money have you saved by being disciplined? You've saved $400, right? Because you thought, you know what? It didn't work against me. I need to start saving right now. You're out, $100 loss, but think about what it could be. It could have been a $400 loss in this example. So you saved $400. And what did I say about a penny saved is a penny earned? In all actuality, you have made yourself $400. How is that possible when you're actually losing? Well, a penny saved is a penny earned. It could have been a $500 loss if you're not disciplined, which would be $400 more than what you originally thought. So look at it like this. At the end of the day, the simplest form, if you're disciplined, you start with $1,000, you end with $900. If you're undisciplined, you start with $1,000, and now all of a sudden you end with $500. That's a big difference. So keep this principle in mind. The moment you don't honor the traditional stop loss, the more and more risk you are putting yourself at, while in all actuality, had you just started saving at this point, all this money that, as the price goes further and further, that's actually money that would be in your pocket because you're keeping your portfolio intact where you want it to be. So again, just to reiterate and summarize, disciplined people would start with 1,000, end with 900. Undisciplined people start with 1,000, end with 500, which is that difference of $400. And it's one of those things where nobody likes to admit that they're taking a loss. But to me, I think this makes a lot of sense. This is no longer, a stop loss. This is a start save. When you start saving, you're out, you preserve capital, and you just move on to the next trade. And think about it. In this case, how much money do you have to get back on your next trade? $100. Okay. For the undisciplined, now how much money do you have to get back to bring your portfolio up to break even? Now you have to get back $500. Pretty sure my math's right there, but that's 4 times the amount you have to get back if you, that wouldn't be the case had you just started saving up at your original plan. So from here on out, going forward, when you're thinking about, where do I put my stop loss? Don't tell yourself stop loss. Write down in your notes or write down however you do it, start save. Maybe, hashtag start save, we'll get a new trend going here. But I think the trading industry really got it wrong when you factor in psychology by calling it a stop loss. My new argument is these need to be called a start save. And that's how I'm going to be looking at it in the future going forward. And hopefully it'll help you honor your quote unquote, the traditional stop loss. But start saving out there, be disciplined, and redefine the term. Stop loss, no more. Look at it as a start save. Thank you again for listening. Hopefully it's all registered with you, and hopefully that'd be cool if I start to see people referring to this as start save. Me personally, like I said, I am definitely going to start to implement this, and when I'm looking at trades, because I'll be honest, I still struggle to, I was wrong here, but if I start to look at it as, now this is the point where I'm going to start to save, start to preserve capital, I think that's really going to help me out. Like I said, I'm just pretty much a Jedi mind tricking myself because nobody wants to call it a loss. So hopefully, that'll help you out. And I'm all about Jedi mind tricking myself if it's going to help make me a better trader. A couple things I'd like you to do if you enjoyed this video. Please click the like button down below. Leave your comments. I'd like to hear what you think about my new kind of definition of this, and share your thoughts with me on that. Thanks for watching. Remember, trade without emotion.